Hello, and welcome to our training session on document control. Here's one of my favorite signs. It's located on my bookshelf, and it's not one of the favorites of one of the plant managers because it's a statement I use regularly. And of course, we've all heard the saying, if it is not documented, it did not happen. First, we'll explore why documentation really matters. Then we'll unpack Clause 4.4, breaking it into four parts: key documentation elements, procedure requirements, internal document control, and external document control. After that, we'll share some best practices and tools. Wrap up with next steps. Strong documentation makes sure everyone is on the same page, literally. It proves compliance to auditors, serves as our single source of truth, and there's no guesswork allowed here. And it's the backbone of traceability and continuous improvement. In your system, you'll typically see a quality manual or flowcharts for the big picture, standard operating procedures or SOPs for the step-by-step process instructions, work instructions for granular task-level detail, and forms or checklists to record inspections, training, maintenance, and any nonconformances. Clause 4.4 outlines what must be included in our documentation. First, we have the scope of our quality management system, or QMS as we refer to it on a pretty regular basis. This provides the areas or stations or whatever the quality system is intended to cover, along with any justification for exclusions. For example, manufacturers that manufacture products to the API standard. This means excluding design, as they typically do not hold design authority. Then we will usually have our quality policy and measurable objectives. The quality policy lists the goals and is the organization's formal, top-level statement of its commitment to quality. Its purpose is both strategic and practical, such as the topics and goals discussed during management review meetings. Any applicable legal and regulatory requirements from either our customer or the industry, a clear mapping of each API Q1 requirement to our internal processes so we know what is required of us. Identification of any processes requiring validation. Process validation simply means verifying and demonstrating that a process consistently produces the intended result. All procedures, documents, and records necessary for planning, operating, controlling, and demonstrating conformance. Although a quality manual is not required, you can maintain one to provide a clear roadmap of our system and to show where the requirements of the API Q1 and 11B standards are addressed. Here at PRL, we choose to use a quality manual because that is the document that we show and share with our customers to show what our quality system covers. Every procedure has to answer the question, how do we do this? They must be documented, actually implemented in day-to-day work, and maintained for ongoing accuracy. And don't forget to link each procedure back to the specific API Q1 clause it supports. Personnel must demonstrate that they are capable and competent in following the procedures or work instructions, and this is done by undergoing training that is documented, audits or assessments of the product, or certifications. To keep our own documents under control, we need a procedure covering how documents are identified and labeled, the review and approval workflow, revision tracking or version history, distribution and access rights, and a clear removal or marking of obsolete versions so nobody uses the wrong one by mistake. At PRL, our official copies are maintained electronically on the shared drive. Once they are printed, they are no longer controlled. For external specifications, like the API, ISO, ASTM, and the like, we must record revision dates, addenda or errata, and those two words are fancy words for revisions or updates. Ensure changes flow into our product realization process, which ultimately means our routers, and archive superseded versions while keeping fully traceable for audits. This mainly falls on me in the quality office, but each of you can help take part and maintain each of those as well. It's also good if we can form good habits. Always check document revision status. Use only the latest version. When in doubt, do not hesitate to ask. This is documented in Form A16, the master table, and that is located on the S drive. Never rely on personal printouts or handwritten notes. Please report any outdated or missing documents right away. Don't bypass steps or tweak formats without authorization. And make sure your records are legible, complete, and timely. We also must assess the risks involved with making changes to our processes and/or our quality system. Safety, product quality, and compliance changes take the highest priorities. Document control is always a part of any audit, both internal and third party. These are just some of the ideas of how to make document control a little easier. Some systems may be small and basic, so version control is not an overwhelming task when monitored. As they grow, however, they may consider using one of these tools. To recap, Clause 4.4 provides the foundation for controlled documentation in any quality management system. Focus on capturing required elements or key characteristics, controlling both internal and external documents, and keeping procedures living and up to date. I suggest each of you take some time and review the API Q1 and/or other API documents personally. This will provide you with a personal understanding of what is expected by the API organization and some federal standards. Agencies like OSHA, EPA, Bureau of Land Management, DOT, Department of Transportation, often cite API specs in their rules. You can also review any of our procedures here at PRL Manufacturing, work instructions, whatever documents are part of our quality management system. I welcome you to review those because the better you understand and the more you understand about what our processes are, the better we will all be for that. Well, that's it on document control. Thank you for taking the time and watching. Drop your questions or comments below the video. Maybe you're wrestling with a particular workflow or evaluating new tools. Let's discuss it. I'll see you in the comments. Have a great day and be safe.